Welcome to the Agentics Advantage, the podcast where AI, leadership, and the future of work meet. Honest conversations, practical insights, and a new way forward for businesses and women ready to lead on their own terms. Welcome back to the Agentics Advantage. I'm Olivia, and after our first episode, it seems like many of you are feeling that same pull, the desire to step out of the grind and into something more intentional. Today, we're tackling a topic that sits at the very heart of why most of us feel exhausted, the efficiency myth. We've been conditioned to believe that being busy is a badge of honor. We've been told that if we just optimize our calendars or drink one more cup of coffee, we'll finally get ahead. But the truth is, most of us are just running faster on a treadmill that's designed to keep us in a place. So, how does AI change that? Is it just another tool to make us work more, or is it the key to finally stepping off the treadmill? Suzanne is back with me today to unpack the difference between hustle efficiency and agentic freedom. We're going to look at the AI reality, what's actually happening on the ground right now, and how you can start using these tools to reclaim your time and your sanity. Let's dive in. Suzanne, welcome back. In our last episode, we talked about the why behind Inspire Agentics. Today, I want to get into the how, specifically how we break the cycle of constant busyness.
Absolutely. And thanks, Olivia. So, this is one of my favorite topics because it's where the rubber meets the road. We talk a lot about the theory of AI, but when you see someone realize they just gained 10 hours of their week back because of a simple AI asset, that's when the magic happens.
Let's start with this efficiency myth. We've all been taught that efficiency means doing more in less time. Why is that a trap?
Because in the old corporate model, efficiency was usually rewarded with more work. If you finished your tasks early, you didn't get to go home and rest, which is very unfortunate. You actually just got handed more projects, usually one that someone else couldn't finish. So we learned to perform busyness and to fill every gap in our day with noise. The myth is that if we just work harder, we'll eventually reach a point of peace, but that point actually never comes. AI is the first technology in history that actually allows us to decouple our output from our hours. At Inspire Agentics, we don't look at AI as a way to squeeze more work out of people. We look at it as a way to remove the operational drag, the repetitive, soul sucking tasks that keep you from thinking strategically or, quite frankly, from just being human.
Yeah, you mentioned the operational drag. Can you give us a real world example of that and what it looks like and how AI is solving it right now?
Absolutely. So let's look at a small business owner or even a consultant. They spend hours every week on things like triaging emails, summarizing meeting notes, drafting initial proposals, managing basic client inquiries. And that's not leadership, that's administrative weight. Right now, we're building AI assistants, don't just chat, they act. We're setting up systems where AI can listen to a discovery call, extract the client's pain points, and draft a customized proposal based on the business's unique framework, and then have it ready for a human to review in seconds. That's the AI reality. It's not a robot taking your job, it's a digital partner taking the grunt work away so you can show up as the visionary.
I love that distinction, the digital partner. But for a lot of women, there's a fear that if they aren't doing the work, they aren't providing value. How do we shift that mindset?
That's a great question. And it's a huge shift. Not only that, but it's an emotional one because we've tied our worth to our productivity for so long. I tell the women I work with, your value isn't in the typing, it's in the thinking. So when you use AI to handle the execution, you're reclaiming your agency. You're moving from being a doer to being a director. This is what I mean by agentics. It's about having the power to choose where your energy goes. If AI handles your scheduling and your first drafts, you have the mental space to actually lead your business, to connect with your family, or honestly, to just breathe, which is what we all need to do. That's the advantage that we're talking about.
In the last episode, you mentioned that the first 3 months of Inspire Agentics are focused on B2B SaaS sales and helping small businesses. How is that going? What are you seeing on the front lines?
Been quite eye-opening. So small and mid-sized businesses are actually the ones who need this the most because they don't have massive teams to delegate to. One interesting tool is our AI onboarding assistants. These assistants help new clients or employees get up to speed without the founder having to repeat the same information over and over again. We're also seeing a shift in how people buy AI. They don't want a tool necessarily anymore. They want a solution. They don't really want to learn how to write prompts. They just want a system that works. And that's where we come in. We build the engine so they can just drive the car.
Before we wrap up, I want to speak directly to the woman listening who is currently in that corporate grind. She's hearing about AI, she's feeling the burnout, but she's scared to make a move. What's the first step?
So the first step is to stop trying to outwork the system. You can't. Start by identifying one thing in your day that just feels like drag, just one. And then ask yourself, if I didn't have to do this, who would I be? AI is the bridge. It's the tool that allows you to build a sovereign business, one that supports your life instead of consuming it. You don't have to have the whole 12-month plan figured out today. You just have to decide that your time is worth more than the tasks that you're currently buried under.
Your value isn't in the typing, it's in the thinking. I'm going to be reflecting on that all day, Suzanne. Well, thank you so much for bringing the reality to the AI conversation today.
Thank you, Olivia. It's always a pleasure.
To everyone listening, thank you for joining us for episode number 2 of the Agentics Advantage. If you're ready to stop the hustle and start building your own Agentic Advantage, head over to our website or click the link in the show notes to see how we can help you modernize your workflow. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear that they are allowed to step off the treadmill. We'll see you in the next episode.